guys, it's me Amelia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. In April I read 9 books, which is literally, I think, my record. I don't think I've read 9 books in a month for like several years now. I think like my highest was like 7 or 8. So this is really exciting. I'm like so happy about it. So the first book that I read this month is Define Me by Tahara. I'm literally Persian and she's Persian, but I can't pronounce Persian names. Define Me by Tahara Mafi. I made a review for this book, so if you want to check that out, check that out. But actually, I kind of really changed my mind about the review. In the review, I said I gave it 5 stars. I've lowered it down to a 4 stars after like further consideration because this book just did not hit me. Oh, this is the 5th book to the Shatter Me series. This book just did not hit me the way that the other books did. The other books, I was so obsessed with them. I cried in all of them, except for the first one. But this one, I literally did not cry. I barely felt a lot. I did feel, but I didn't feel as much. It didn't hit me the way that other books in the series hit me. Even the one before this, Restore Me, I still cried. It still gave me lots of emotions, but I feel like this one was not as great, but I still really love this series. I'm still really looking forward to Imagine Me. Okay, the second book that I read in April, yes, I love this book, and this is The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. Okay, I'm on the Goodreads page for The Devouring Grey, and the average rating is 3.90, which I'm really surprised about. I gave it a 5 stars on Goodreads, but my actual rating is 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love the characters so much. I keep forgetting to tell you guys what it's about. It's basically about this girl. She kind of moves back into her mom's hometown and creepy things are happening. She's descended from one of the town's founders, and there are a few characters like Justin, May, Isaac, Harper, and they're all also children of the founder. Oh yeah, now I remember. People are like dying. Their bodies are being found and there's like bones and like it just looks disgusting. She's working with like the other teenagers to find out what's up and trying to stop people from dying. I really enjoyed The Devouring Grey. I'd say that it's a mix of Riverdale, definitely, because of like the diner and the mood. So Riverdale, a bit of The Vampire Diaries because of like the founders. I'd say a bit of Secret Circle, the TV show. Maybe a little bit of Stranger Things as well. And honestly, if that's not the perfect combination, then what is? I fell in love with the vibe of the story, like the forest and the people dying and the mystery and the relationships between the characters. I absolutely devoured The Devouring Grey, and I would definitely recommend it. It was really fun and I cannot wait for the next book. Okay, so the next book that I read is, okay, this is not like a published book or anything, but it's basically the Throne of Glass series, but it's like the original Throne of Glass series. So it's basically, I don't know how to explain this. Basically, in 2003, Sarah J. Maas wrote The Eye of the Chosen. That was like Throne of Glass, and she posted it onto a website and like some people read it, but she decided to get Throne of Glass published like many years later, I think, and she completely changed so many things. So many things is different from The Eye of the Chosen, but I read The Eye of the Chosen, if that makes sense. So like it's really different from the Throne of Glass series that we know. So I haven't finished it yet. Like I finished the Throne of Glass part, but I didn't read the Crown of Midnight Airfire parts because she finished it, but I'm counting that as one book because it's literally the size of one book. So I basically read like the first book in the original Throne of Glass series, if that makes sense. And it's really different. Characters' names are different. The plot is also really different, but some characters are still there and it's crazy. And I will be making a video on how it's different and like the different plot and everything. The next book that I read is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. Alex Approximately is basically about this girl. She has this online male friend and they have been talking for like years. They're pretty much like best friends who have never met, but they don't know what each other look like. And her dad actually lives in his town, and she ends up moving to live with her dad because her mom got remarried. So she's in the town of the guy that she talks to online but doesn't know what he looks like. But she's trying to find him. The only thing she knows is his name and a few things about him, duh, because they're best friends. So she's trying to find out who he is without telling him that she actually lives in his town now. This is not a spoiler, it's literally in the back of the book. But she starts working at this museum, and her co-worker is actually the guy she's been talking to online, but she doesn't know that it's him because he uses a different name. So I really enjoyed Alex Approximately, but I gave it 4 stars just because I felt like the writing and the things that happened were a little bit cheesy. or like corny or like cliche, but overall I actually really liked the plot, the characters, and like the things that happen. And also the main character is really stupid, so that's also why I deducted a star. She's really stupid. If I was her, I would already know that the guy at the museum is the guy she talks to online. Sorry, that was a spoiler. I'll take that out. Okay, the next book. And this is because of Throne of Pages on YouTube. She made was it a reading vlog or a wrap up? It was a vlog. Hi Isabella. Basically, she was saying that she never stayed up so late, but she read The Darkest Star and it was really good, so she kept reading it. And when she said that, I was like, ooh, I want to read this book. And it's actually, I think it's a spin-off to a series that I've already read called Lux by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I was like, OMG, I want to read this too. And literally that day, like the day she said that, I started reading the book and I ended up finishing it the next day. So thank you, Isabella. I really, really enjoyed it. It's basically like an alien romance. Like this girl meets this guy and he's an alien. It's basically a world where humans and aliens coexist. I really enjoyed the romance. I gave this book 5 stars, but I think my actual rating would be like 4.5 or 4.6. But I really did enjoy this, and it's the first book to the series, so I'm really looking forward to the next book. Okay, the next book that I read is a novella of the Cruel Prince series, which is The Lost Sisters. This is in Taryn's perspective. Taryn is Jude's sister. The Cruel Prince is based on Jude. And I'm not gonna spoil, but something happens in The Cruel Prince, and basically in the novella you find out why Taryn did something. And I gave the novella a 3 stars. Firstly, it barely justified her behavior. I still hate her like hell. The novella did nothing to change my mind, and also like it was just not fun. A lot of the scenes were like repeated scenes, like we already saw it happen. I think I wrote a review for it. So in my review on Goodreads, I basically just said that it was boring. It was pretty boring, and I think Taryn is stupid AF. I don't like her. I still don't like her, and the novella did nothing to change my mind. Okay, the next book that I read is a reverse harem book called Four Psychos. I've never read reverse harem before, but my friend Monique recommended it to me. It's really weird, like I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's like there's angels and devils, humans, and basically there's this girl, but she doesn't have a name because basically she doesn't remember who she is. She basically loses all her memory, and she's kind of a ghost, and she just floats around these 4 guys. It's really weird. They can't see her. She's like invisible, and she can't touch anything. Her hand just like goes through, and the 4 guys can't see her, but she has to stay with the 4 guys or else she'll start to like lose herself. Like she'll just be like gone into nothingness. So she has to stick around these 4 guys, and you find out why later. But no one can see her, and she's been around for like years, but she doesn't know who she is, and it's kind of like her journey from there. It's really weird, but it's also really interesting. I actually pretty enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 stars, and I read it in one day, and then I read the second book of that series the next day and also finished it that day. And I also gave the second book a 4 stars, and I don't think I'll be reading the third book, but I really don't regret reading the first 2. But I just feel like I'm like done with this series. Like I feel like I got enough info. I don't need to continue on. Maybe I will, but who knows. Oh yeah, so the next book is the second book in the series. And then the next book that I read, girl, this book, yes, like this is the book. Like this is the book. It is Pretty Reckless by L.J. Shen. L.J. Shen is one of my favorite authors, and she came out with a new book. Like, yes, girl. Basically, she has this book called Vicious. It's really, really popular. You probably might have heard of it. It's a new adult romance. Vicious is really good. And then there's a whole series of the Vicious after Vicious, and I read all the books in that series. It's all based on different characters, but L.J. Shen made a spin-off of that series, and that's the one I read. So the first book in the spin-off is called Pretty Reckless. Pretty Reckless is based on the children of the people in Vicious, so it's like a whole new generation. And yes, like it was beautiful. Basically, we got to see the romance story of the children of one of the characters. It's really good. It's like, I hate to love romance. I'm not gonna get into like what it's about, but it's really well done. It made me feel a lot, and I really suggest you read it. Like even if you don't want to read the first series, like the Vicious series, you can literally just start Pretty Reckless, the spin-off series. You won't get the background, and you won't understand like some jokes and some puns, you know, inside jokes, but it literally does not take away much. I feel like just read Pretty Reckless. It's so good. It's freaking amazing. Okay, so that is it for my April wrap up. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you want to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!